How about a little Rutgers update from the APC Center here on May 30th, which is kind of cool, with our guy, head coach Steve Pikiell. Coach, how are you? How's spring going?
It's been the craziest spring, but always exciting times. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. Haven't seen you since the season ended. I love how we've upgraded now our podcast to some video.
Fancy.
Yeah, so I got a lot of updates and a lot of great news too to share in this ever-changing world of college athletics in 2023.
All right, so let's get into that because, as I said, it's May 30th as we record this, and boy, a lot of conversation about Rutgers basketball, which is cool.
Isn't that a great thing? 7 years ago, Jerry, 8 years ago, we weren't talking about anything, but a lot of exciting times, and I think that's partly too where the program has been the last few years, getting better, exciting recruits, huge fan base, and that they're talking about us in May is a really good thing.
So this is summer 8, which when you go back to when you took over this job, the college basketball landscape has changed in an enormous fashion. So let's talk about NIL. Let's get into that because we've discussed this in the past, but things have really ramped up. Just the whole college basketball landscape for you right now.
I will tell you, when I took over the program, I always talk a lot about obstacles and challenges. And when we first got here, the facilities was a huge challenge, and we overcame that. Obviously, we're in this place is awesome. And then housing, we had housing issues and overcome housing issues. Then we had attendance issues. Couldn't get the students here to games and the fan base and that kind of thing. So, really tackled all of those kind of things. And now the new obstacles are obviously the portal, and obviously name, image, and likeness is a big topic of discussion. I love, first and foremost, we have two collectives, the Knights of the Raritan and Knight Society, run by great people, and they're doing some amazing things. And now we're getting ready now to hire a general manager of our NIL program here for all student athletes. Altius is a company that has jumped on board, and we'll hire a new GM in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we're kind of fortunate. We've headed in a great direction with a game plan, how to attack name, image, and likeness. It's a complex issue. It's not easy. Everyone's learning new stuff every day. I'm out there pounding the streets and the pavements to try to make the lives of our student athletes better. And so some exciting things are going on. We're getting ready to have a golf outing through one of the collectives, and we're just doing more creative events and ideas, and just thankful that those two collectives have jumped on board, and now we're getting Altius has jumped on board hiring a GM, and they got some exciting ideas too about what they can do. But I think every year we've been here, we've just tried to make the student athletes' lives better, and this is going to be no different. We're going to tackle this obstacle just like we have the other ones, and I'm excited about where we're headed with it.
And obviously a lot of news with Cam hitting the portal, but that having been said, you've got Gavin, you've got Jermichael, you've got Noah, of course, coming in. So while you may lose Cam, you've got big name players coming in too.
I think that's part of it too. You no longer are guaranteed 4 years, 3 years, 2 years with any player. Cam was awesome for us for the year, and we're just thankful for his time. Great kid, great family. Now, I want to talk more about the guys that stayed. Quite honestly, we got some terrific newcomers and the players that have been with us. I'm excited for Derek Simpson. I'm excited for Antonio Chol. I'm excited for Antoine Wolfalk. These guys have been with us. They've worked hard. Andre Hyatt, they're going to get great opportunities. And that's what happens sometimes when a player leaves. The players of Caleb McConnell, there's a lot of minutes and there's some shots now. These guys have worked really hard to take advantage of it. And, we have Gavin coming in and Jay Mike and Noah. We've benefited from the portal too, so we got Andre Hyatt a couple years ago and he's a starter, and we got Noah coming in, and Cam was really a good guy that we got out of the portal too. So, it's always challenging in some ways. I still want players that want to be here. I'm still excited about what we do. We graduate kids. That's exciting to me. That's a big. We develop players. Players get better that come here. And I think about guys like Mawat Mag, who got an opportunity this year and he showed what he could do. Now some of these other players are going to have those opportunities. They're going to get more minutes. They're going to get more shot attempts. Just by players graduating and players leaving, creates more opportunities for those guys that stay and those newcomers that have come aboard. And that's the exciting part of college basketball.
And I think great, and a credit to you too, is how few kids have gone into the portal from here, number one. Number two is, and I've said this to you many times, how important how they do in the classroom, how important that is to you. That to me says a lot about you and the program and your staff, and I think that's just a credit to you.
Well, I got a great staff, but I think our cores have stayed the same. Like, I want kids that want to be here. I want kids that want to graduate. I want kids that want to get better. And really, if you look at our track record, guys get better, and kids graduate, and they take advantage of what Rutgers has to offer. And, we're doing good things in those other areas to make their lives better too. So this year will be no different, We'll put together a roster that plays hard, that's tough, and people will see our young players and how they've gotten better, and then they're going to see the newcomers. Gavin is probably the highest ranked recruit I think we've had in, 30, 40 years. And he comes from Connecticut. He's talented, great kid from a great family. Jay Mike is a talented player out of Atlanta that, is tough and hard-nosed. He's a Rutgers kind of guy. And Noah, was a player that scored 16 points and had 11 assists against us. He had a double-double and we couldn't stop him. So I'm excited now that he's going to be wearing the scarlet too. So we've added, the kids have gotten better. The opportunities now will be more for those guys, but we continue to be who we are. Great kids, represent the school the right way, they graduate, they get better, and that's what I want to be known for.
How about the fact too, you've got Paul, you've got Cliff, you've got Caleb, NBA workouts.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, you're always like at this time of the year, because they have some decisions that they have to make. Obviously, Caleb doesn't, but we have 3 players. I don't know the last time Rutgers has had 3 players working out for NBA teams. Considered they're all prospects in 1 year. I certainly know in my time here we didn't have that luxury ever, and I'm excited that these guys have these opportunities, and they have opportunities to decide to come back or to go professionally. Of which both are great options for them, and so. In the next few days, they're going to have to make some decisions. Caleb obviously doesn't have to, but what a career he had. And he's worked out now and met with and interviewed with over 20 NBA teams, So what a job he's done. National Defensive Player of the Year. Talk about development, a guy that just kept getting better. So I'm real proud that those are our problems now, and I'm glad we have players that have those kind of choices that they have to make. And, if they decide to move on, that's great for their careers and for us, and if they decide to stay, we'll all be blessed to get to coach them again for another year. So either way, it's a win-win, and that we have players in those positions really just says a lot about them and the work that they've done, but says a lot about our staff too, and the job that they've done developing guys.
You mentioned the staff, so let's talk about the addition of Marlon Williamson as he was brought on to join your group.
I tell you what, couldn't be more excited. First of all, the amount of people that showed interest in the position was off the charts. 7-8 years ago, I would have never had that group that applied and that really wanted the job. Some really high level assistant coaches. Marlon, he really stood out in a lot of ways. Awesome family guy, all the things that I love. Hard worker, has been to some tough places and made him better. Went to the NCAA tournament at LIU, went to the NCAA tournament at UMass. I hadn't gone in a while. Now he's at Central Michigan, really helped recruit some of their best and most talented players. He's got tremendous ties into the AAU scene. Really good basketball player. So again, another guy that played, at Youngstown, had a, terrific career. But another guy who can develop players, good people, great family guy. Our staff has been improved 100%, and we've moved up and elevated, the job that Scott does and Mike Sasso. Now they're full-time. They've been elevated. They're Rutgers people, master's degree, undergrad. So we were able to do that. And Steve Hain and Mike Larkin now have taken on added responsibilities. Now they can be in practice. They can, do more basketball things. The NCAA has improved the position of, 2 extra guys on your staff to be able to do more basketball and workouts and all that. So our staff now is complete. The addition of Marlon and these guys have been elevated to do more. So our players are blessed. Steve Hain has unbelievable experience, and Mike has been a godsend for me and the job that he's done. And so to be able to elevate them to do more basketball roles, which they're accustomed to, they did those, at their previous spots, has really been a blessing.
We're about, if my math is right, around 5 months from the start of the season, give or take, maybe 5.5. How much of the schedule is done? I'm talking non-conference, and where are you at with the scheduling?
You know what? We're waiting on contracts. It's always, that time of the year, and we're finalizing some opponents. But, we got another exciting schedule. We always play a top 30 schedule in the country, and we're going to certainly do that again. But we're working on a game at the Barclays Center too, which will be another high-level game, which I'm excited about. In the next few weeks, we should be able to announce some of these things. As along with playing at Seton Hall, as we always do. We know what that rivalry is all about. And then we're going to play at Wake Forest. And we just recently announced, Georgetown's coming to us for the Gavitt games. And, Coach Cooley's going to do a great job there. They've already gotten some big-time recruits and the job that he's going to do. So, our non-conference schedule really shaping up with a lot of high-level games and really challenging as it is every year. And then, as you know, we already got our league schedule where we're playing probably one of the best 1 or 2 schedules in the entire conference again. So challenging, but exciting, and a little bit of traveling, getting away from Jersey Mike's a few more times. But
I always say those 20
exciting
conference games, high-stress games, no matter what, and never easy and never a gimme. That's for darn sure. And before you get to all of that, obviously, and I guess it would be August, you have an international trip lined up.
Exciting this summer. We'll get to practice 10 times before we leave. We're going to leave in August. We're going to Africa. A lot of teams don't travel there, so we're excited. We're going to be in Dakar, and we're going to play some high-level basketball teams. We're going to, travel some of the historic places, get to go on a safari, get to do some really, neat things, and then we're going to go to Lisbon in Portugal, which is a short plane ride from there, and we're going to get a chance to enjoy Lisbon, and then Algarve, which is the beach, nice beach community, and we're going to play 4 or 5 high-level games. For our players, just a great trip. Gives me a snapshot of the season, try some different lineups, get a real chance to see the improvement of our veteran guys that have returned, and see our young guys, and get a chance to do that, touring some of the most historic places in the world. So it's a great learning experience. It's a great basketball experience. It's great team bonding. Great practice opportunities too before the season starts. So it gives us a little snapshot, going into the season, which I like, the most. Trying to figure your team out a little bit in August.
Well, I am looking forward to it. I know it's 5.5 months away to the season, but shorter for you when you get the guys on the court. What do you say we do this again in about a month?
Let's keep this tradition
monthly
going.
Update.
I love it, and we'll add some video to it, which has been a great thing. So thank you, Jerry.
For head coach Steve Pikiell, I'm Jerry Recco. We will see you in about a month or so with another Rutgers men's basketball update.